Hi, artists. This is Mrs. Spooner. Welcome back to the studio. So, today we're going to be talking about visual storytelling, and we're going to be looking at the work from three famous artists who created beautiful wintry scenes like the one you see right now. Take a second to listen to what sounds you hear. In a few moments, we'll be exploring those sounds a bit more in a story. In this lesson, we're going to be considering these two questions. How do the artists in this lesson use images and color to tell a story about winter? And how can you create a scene that shows what a snowy day looks and feels like? Brr, it's cold outside, but let it snow because we are going to be talking about how these three artists created wintry scenes that actually make you feel the chill in the air. But first, we're going to listen to a story.
A Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats, an animated storybook. One winter morning, Peter woke up and looked out the window. Snow had fallen during the night. It covered everything as far as he could see. After breakfast, he put on a snowsuit and ran outside. The snow was piled up very high along the street to make a path for walking. Crunch, crunch, crunch. His feet sank into the snow. He walked with his toes pointing out like this. He walked with his toes pointing in like that. Then he dragged his feet slowly to make tracks. He found something sticking out of the snow that made a new track. It was a stick that was just right for smacking the snow-covered tree. Down fell the snow, plop, on top of Peter's head. He thought it would be fun to join the big boys in their snowball fight, but he knew he wasn't old enough. Not yet. So, he made a smiling snowman, and he made angels. He pretended he was a mountain climber. He climbed up great, big, tall, heaping mountain of snow and slid all the way down. Picked up a handful of snow and another and still another, packed it round and firm, and put the snowball in his pocket for tomorrow. Then he went into his warm house. He told his mother all about his adventures while she took off his wet socks. And he thought and thought and thought about them. Before he got into bed, he looked in his pocket. His pocket was empty. The snowball wasn't there. He felt very sad. While he slept, he dreamed that the sun had melted all the snow away. But when he woke up, his dream was gone. The snow was still everywhere. New snow was falling. After breakfast, he called to his friend from across the hall. And they went out together in the deep, deep snow.
That was a wonderful story. Peter was a lucky little boy that day. It snowed so much, and he got to bundle up and go outside and play with his friends. What are some of the things that you liked about that story? Next, we're going to look at this painting. It's actually a woodblock print. It's called Night Snow at Kambara, and it's by an artist named Utagawa Hiroshige. He was a Japanese artist who painted and drew scenes that were from his life. If we look at this piece, it looks like a really cold day. What do we notice about what the people in the image are wearing? What do you think about their hats? Do they look similar to the hats that we would wear outside today? No, they reflect the artist's culture and the time that he lived in. Look at the tracks in the snow. Does that remind you of anything that we just watched? How about the houses in the background? Notice how close together they are. What about the colors in this image? The background is very gray, very white, very absent of color, except for what the people are wearing. How about this painting? It's called New Snow in the Avenue, and it's by an artist named Edvard Munch. How is this one different from the one that we just saw? If you notice their hats, they're kind of pointy, but nothing like the ones that we just saw. Edvard Munch is an artist from Norway, so he lived in a different country. And if we look, this piece is from the 1900s, so it was after the other one was painted. So it looks like these people are also on a walk. What do you notice about the colors? Are they warm or cool? You're right, they're cool colors. What about footprints? Do we see any footprints in the snow? No. How about how this painting makes you feel? When you look at this painting, do you feel warm and cozy? Or does it make you feel cold? Yes, it makes you feel cold. All right, what about this one? This is called Winter Landscape by an artist named Vasily Kandinsky, a Russian painter. And this one was painted just 9 years after the last one we just looked at. There are no people in this scene, but how does this picture make you feel? The last one was just cold colors, blues, purples, greens. In this one, we see warm colors like flecks of yellow and oranges, peach. Does that make you feel different? Have you ever woken up in the morning on a snowy day when the sun was just coming over the horizon and you could see how the yellow and the warmth from the sun was reflected on the snow? I think that's what he was trying to convey here. So now it's your turn. Watch this video and see what we're going to be creating today.
Hi friends, I hope you've had fun so far learning about the artists and talking about their beautiful wintry scenes. And I hope you enjoyed this story by Ezra Jack Keats and learning about all the fun adventures that Peter had and all the fun things he did on his snowy day. So what we're going to do right now is I'd like you to tell me a story, but I want you to tell me a story with your art, with pictures, with colors. You can draw anything you want. I'd like to know what you like to do on a snowy day. So as we create our winter landscapes, I'm going to put this right here and some beautiful snowflakes that I made out of cut paper. for inspiration. Now, for your drawing, you can, you need a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be white, but it can be. And then you can use anything that you have and anything you'd like to use. If you have crayons or markers or colored pencils, that's wonderful. If you have watercolors and you'd like to paint as well, feel free to do as many different things to this drawing as you would like to. So first, let's see. I've already kind of done a light sketch of my wintry scene so that you don't have to watch too long of a video. But as I go through it, I want you to think about how the elements in my picture tell a story. So how am I telling a story without words as I draw this? Let's see. One of the best parts, or one of the parts that I liked the most about the book, was how Peter walked through the snow and made the tracks, and how he noticed that he could make the tracks look different. He could turn his feet in, he could turn his feet out, he could drag them through the snow and make large lines. So in my picture, I'm going to put the footprints all over the snow. So there's something very beautiful about when snow first falls and it looks like a blanket over the ground. But it's also cool to be the first one to walk through it, because you can almost make a picture with your feet if you wanted to. So as I draw this little girl in my wintry scene, I'm going to be careful to dress her for the weather. So if you went outside when we had snow just recently, I'm sure that you got bundled up in a warm winter coat and probably a hat and gloves, maybe a scarf and mittens, boots. I know that my kids, I have a daughter in 1st grade and a son in 3rd grade, and I know they were so excited to go out and play in the snow, and it took us about 15 minutes to get them all bundled and ready to go outside. And they were complaining about being so hot before they actually had a chance to get out there. But because we live in a snowy place in the winter, that you really have to dress warm. So this boy up here is building a snowman. That's something that I always liked to do as a kid. And I know my kids are always begging me to make one with them when there's enough snow. But if you've ever made a snowman, you know that it has to be the perfect kind of packy snow, right? It has to be the right kind of snow to make them. Otherwise, it kind of just falls apart. If it's too powdery and if it's too slushy, it doesn't work either. So he's putting a hat on his snowman. Let's see, there's another hill up here. So they're a little further away. And if he just made this snowman, let's see, I bet there's a bunch of footprints all around this snowman. So I'm going to make a bunch of marks in the snow up here. Let's see, some more footprints over here. I like the way the footprints are creating a pattern all across the snow. Let's see, and over here, I have a friend who has just made a snowman, or a snow angel right here. And he is laying in the one he is just now making. Have you ever made a snow angel? If you have, it's a lot of fun. You just plop right into the snow, let yourself fall back, wave your arms back and forth and your legs back and forth. And it makes a big shape like that around your body. Those are a lot of fun. And they always make snow get inside your coat or your gloves or your shoes, but that's okay because that's part of the fun. So I have a lot going on in my scene. Let's see. I have a pine tree over here that when I start to color, I'll put lots of snow. It has stuck to its branches. So my picture is all about fun and friends. This little girl is walking to meet her friends up the hill. He's building a snowman. He's just made 2 snow angels over here. And maybe way off in the distance is where one of their friends live. And you can see a lot of swirly smoke coming out of the chimney because there's a fire going. And it's nice and warm and cozy inside. And someone's making them cups of hot chocolate. Lots of big marshmallows. Do you like hot chocolate? Do you like marshmallows inside of your hot chocolate? I do. And there's my winter scene. Let's see, I want to add some snow. So anything you like to do outside. And maybe you didn't get a chance to go outside the last time it snowed, but what are some of the things that you've done in the past that you like to do, or what would you like to try that maybe you've never done before? So as you create your picture, remember that you're telling me a story. You're telling me a story about a winter day, a snowy, snowy day, but without using any words. So with these images, and then with color. So color also conveys the story, right? Just like how we talked about in the paintings that we looked at. So snow is often blue or cold, right? Cool colors I might use in my painting or my drawing. So I am maybe going to start to add a little bit of color. Let's see. I'm going to move this over. But I'm not going to draw or color the whole picture in front of you because I think that might be a little boring to watch. And it's much more fun to make your own artwork. But I just want to show you. Like I said, you can use as many different things as you'd like. Crayons, markers, colored pencil, watercolor. It is completely up to you and up to whatever you have on hand. That's how I like to do my art. I recycle things and I use whatever I have. So, have fun. And I can't wait to see your pictures and hear the stories that go along with them. Bye!
I'm going to share with you something that is in the classroom that we made for my kids at home. They're also learning remotely, and this is the bulletin board that we have hanging up in our schoolroom and some of the art and the wintry scene that we've been making together. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Clover and I are going to be cozying up by the fire, and we can't wait to see all of the wonderful artwork that you guys come up with. Until next time, bye.